deductible with Tri-Man Roofing, and this is Dee Dee Smith with
Appius Source.
Appius Source, which is a public adjusting firm. We wanted to visit with you all about the Texas law that has been signed by our governor, Abbott, House Bill 2102, which relates to paying your deductible for any property insurance claim. This was done during the 86th legislative session that Texas had, and what in essence it has a couple of pieces. The contractor has to receive some form of payment, either a cashier's check, a regular check, credit card, that shows that they have paid the deductible as your agreement with your insurance carrier. The roofing contractor cannot advertise, promote, or waive credit, rebate your deductible. It actually has to be paid. So in the past, there used to be a free roof whereby your contractor would absorb that deductible difference and just take it off the roof. Now you actually can get a good roof system whereby you're paying for only the deductible on your insurance policy. There is in the contract that the roofing contractor has to provide in 12-point verbiage to let everybody know what the Texas law is.
And this law, I know just myself, I've had a lot of people asking me, when did this law become, into effect? There's a lot of homeowners that don't know. And it was actually, since 1989, it's been improper?
Well, there's been some verbiage, and it was not from the prior governor that it wasn't as clear, and it needed to be made more clear, more exact, and have some teeth behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So if the roofing contractor waives the deductible, the property owner knows about it, and even real estate agents. That I used to get calls and they would say, hey, I need you to help out my client, they're selling their house, I know you'll waive the deductible like everyone does. Well, we didn't, and now you definitely can't, because now it will be a Class A misdemeanor. And that is not a penalty that a licensed real estate agent is going to want to absorb, and that's certainly not what the fines and that are going to be assessed you want to have either. So we're here to tell you that starting September 1st, 2019 in Texas, you have to show proof that you've made a payment for your deductible, and it needs to be in a contract in 12-point as well. And so those free roofs are over. So now you have a chance to actually learn about what kind of roofing company you want to use and the type of roofing systems you want to use, because it's not going to be a free roof anymore.
So basically, I think some people have been saying, just from social media and all that I've seen, is that they didn't even know that they were committing insurance fraud when that was happening. How was that?
Well, I think some property owners turned a blind eye. They knew that the deductible's in there because your insurance policy is a contract between the property owner and the insurance company. All of the verbiage in there of what's included, what's excluded, is in there, and of course the deductible's in there, because I guarantee you every property owner knew what the dollar amount of their deductible was. So if you didn't know that, maybe I'll buy that they didn't know waiving it was illegal.
Yeah.
But they knew they had a deductible, they knew what the amount was. And now with this law passed, it enables the Texas Department of Insurance Fraud Investigators and the National Insurance Crime Bureau special agents to be able to go after those that do commit this infraction in the law.
And when they sign that contract now, it's that verbiage. What page? Is it on the first page? Or is it just recommended?
No, it's not recommended. Just like a permit. Permit is not suggestion or recommendation. It's also the law. You have to pull a permit. The verbiage has to also be in 12-point boldface type on the front of the contract. And it reads, Texas law requires a person insured under a property insurance policy to pay any deductible applicable to a claim made under the policy. It is a violation of Texas law for a seller of goods or services who reasonably expects to be paid wholly or partly from the proceeds of a property insurance claim to knowingly allow the insured person to fail to pay or assist the insured person's failure to pay the applicable insurance deductible. So that's what has to be written on all roofing contractors' contracts.
And the good thing about this is that you can slide, when we post this on social media, back and forth so they can see everything that you said there.
Good. Now you went, the North Texas Roofing Contractors Association did a lunch and learn to help educate our members as well. What did you find from that?
It was interesting. It was my first time, it was my first meeting there, and I just joined not even a month ago. I joined in May. And so this was my first meeting.
Good.
And Paul Ramon did stand up and had kind of an intro into this, talking about it. A lot of the roofers in the building at the time in that session, they were asking a lot of questions, and he did say at that time, so it was on the 12th, and Governor Abbott signed it on the 14th. So at that time he did say, we got to get him to sign it first, and once we get him to sign it, there's a lot of educational information that NTRCA is going to do, just to let everybody know that, this is pretty serious. This is something that has to be in your contract. This takes effect September 1st. They have till September 1st, 2019.
September 1st, 2019 is when the act
And it
takes
doesn't
effect.
hurt if they put it in their contract now?
It's in mine already. And Paul Ramon, who owns Ramon Roofing in Fort Worth, is also the president of the North Texas Roofing Contractors Association, and he was also the past president of the Roofing Contractors Association of Texas. Very instrumental with many of us in helping our state representative, Giovanni Capriglione, to write these bills, to help support us and push us through. Many of us have spent countless hours, and those folks need to be recognized as well for, doing what they can. And it continues to next legislative session. We'll do some other stuff to help the consumers get protected in Texas from roofing contractors.
Well, I think, this is, just from what I've seen, there's a lot of information that's going to have to be put out there.
Good.
For these folks.
Well, we thank you for joining us and continuing our sessions. Next, we will have on Steve Badger, an attorney for Zell, who was also extremely instrumental in getting House Bill 2102 and 2103 put through. Even though it had died on the floor, he got it resurrected and got it put through. So we'll have Steve on next, and stay tuned.
And I do want to give a couple of shout outs to
Your mom.
besides them, because she is my big supporter. I do want to, because I really thought it was pretty great that TAPIA came together, that RCAT came together,
And TAPIA is?
The Texas Association of Public Insurance Adjusters. Gary Pennington's the president of that. And then NTRCA, who you said Paul Ramon is the president, and then also
the current president of the Roofing Contractors Association of Texas.
And that's Brad Jones.
Brad Jones.
Okay. And so we do want to acknowledge that they've worked really, really hard along with all the members of those associations to get these bills passed, and it's all for the protection of the consumers is what it's for.
Yep. Great. We'll see you then.